Hi everyone, hope you are well. Vicky here. I made another little batch make of cards, so I thought I would show you what I've been doing. So this is going to be using the Lawn Fawn Year 10 stamp set. I think this stamp set is adorable. I've got a bit of a thing for the cactus, I'm not going to lie. So I have cut my 300 GSM cardstock into what is pretty much A6 over here in the UK, which is about 5 3/4 by 4 for you guys. I'm using my Favourite Things Extreme Black ink to stamp my images, and I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers stamping platform. I'm not going to lie, I could do with a new one. I've already used my Lawn Fawn stitched circles to cut the largest one. I've cut 4 of those out of my Nina cardstock, ready to stamp my images on there, because I thought I'd get at least a little bit of the bits done. And then this is my paper pad that I'm going to take my papers out of, that I'm going to use in the backgrounds of my cards. And then I'm using Alpine Green Blend, the Dark Red Blend, and the Bright Pink Shades as my colours for colouring my image in. And that's pretty much everything I'm going to use on this. So first thing I'm going to do is just pick my backing papers. So the front half of this pad is quite a lot of coated cardstock. And I wanted slightly more simple patterns on the backgrounds. So I go with that one. At the back the papers are also double-sided as well, so there was quite a bit of, oh, which one do I go for? This is a paper pad I actually got when I first started crafting. I was making some Easter cards and it's got some cute little Easter images on some of the pages. So yeah, I just found it when I was looking for some nice papers to use, and I figured might as well use it. I've had it for about 6 years now, I think. Really need to actually use it at some point. I keep finding it and remembering that it's so cute, and I'm thinking, really want to use it. So I have just got my paper trimmer out. So because and I've just realised I told you totally the wrong sizes for those cards. The 6x6 card blanks, but for some reason they're really actually 5 3/4 inches. No idea why. So I decided to cut all of this paper for my backing down to 5.5 inches square. I do apologise for telling you the wrong sizes before. I think I was on autopilot after working something else out earlier and just totally forgot what on earth I was talking about. I'm not going to lie. So yes, so these are actually pre-bought card blanks that I've got quite a few of them here and there, so I thought I'd make up some cards with them, because I keep finding them and I have nowhere else to put them, so make cards with them. So I've done, this will be the 3rd of the patterned papers, I think. I just wanted a variety of different coloured backgrounds really, but I didn't want anything too patterned because I didn't want to take away from the stamped images when they're done. I think this is the most patterned out of the lot. But I just really like the little flowers on the stripy background. I'm turning that around there because the side that was nearest the glue that held it into the pad was a little bit crinkly, so I figured I might as well cut that bit off so I had the straighter side on my cards, which, you know, is a sensible consideration to take into account. So I'm going to get a little bit of a procession line going to stick these down. I'm going to put the backing papers on with glue. You will see me faff around a lot with these. This is my standard practice. I faff a lot as I'm crafting. And I'm just going to use my Pinflair book binding glue. This is still the same bottle that I was using in March. I have no idea how it has lasted this long even. So sorry, I really can't speak today. Please forgive me. Yeah, I have no idea how it's lasting so long. Like, I'm having to squeeze it a little bit now to get the glue out, but there's still quite a bit in there, I think. So it just seems to be a never-ending glue pot. I got 2 pots when I bought this one, so I still have the other one. And then I bought some other glue because I thought, oh, I'm probably going to run out at some point. And it just doesn't seem to be disappearing. But that's probably a good thing. you know, if only all craft supplies were never ending. If only a paper pad would magically reappear once you use the beautiful papers in it. So I'm just taking each piece of card separately, just so I can make sure I don't use any other lines than the ones that I'm meant to be using. You'll see I popped it underneath the others. That was just so the pieces of card can kind of weigh it down a little bit, just for effect. You will see in a minute I get a little bit creative with trying to weigh it down to make sure that the backing paper's got a bit of extra pressure. I won't spoil the surprise. As I say, you can probably see on this backing paper there, it's quite Easter looking. I mean, there are some really pretty papers in that pad. I just wish they still did it, but it's really old and they don't, so never mind. So again, I'm just trying to get that relatively straight, just with a nice little bit of a white border around it, and then I'll pop that underneath the other ones. And I think here is where I decide that I could really do with something slightly more sturdy. So I take out my trusty iPad, which looks like it needs a clean now I've seen that video, and just use that as a bit of extra weight on it. Thumbs up for the camera, as you do. So everything is ever so slightly further down the bottom of the screen. I do apologise. My desk is not very deep. It's quite long, so I think there's probably a good couple of meters worth of length of it, 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters, but depth wise it is not that deep, so there's not much space behind where my craft mat is to be able to actually put things. So if I am doing things that require drying time, it becomes a case of let's put stuff all over the room. I think it probably drives the other half nuts, but he loves me, it's fine, it works. So this is the third one. I did decide against speeding up this video as well, just because I've noticed that sometimes I end up talking even faster than I normally talk, and I talk pretty fast to try and make sure I can get everything in. So I kind of wanted to show you a little bit more real time than normally would be, just so you can see how long it takes. This was my umming and ahhing over whether to use the pinky side or the purple side. Now I decided on the purple, hence why I'm covering the pink side in glue. But it was quite a hard decision to make because both sides were incredibly pretty. So it was just a case of doing that. I've done quite a bit of batch making. My lovely crafty friend Katie had some on her YouTube channel the other day, and it kind of put me in the mood to get a few bits of batch product producing done, just so that I have got some cards. October's quite a quiet month for me birthday wise, so it means I can focus on making sure I've definitely got enough Halloween cards done for everybody, even though the UK still aren't big Halloween card people, but I really don't care. I want everyone to have Halloween cards because they are absolutely lush. I think I actually prefer them to Christmas cards at the moment, but don't tell anyone, especially not my mum, who does a monthly countdown to Christmas. Yes, she really does. So I don't have to focus too much on birthdays this month, so I thought if I get some batch ones done, at least then I'm not rushing around when we get closer to Christmas and I suddenly realise that I really need to get everything going. So this is my stamping tool. It's not the best, I'm not going to lie. This isn't by anywhere a review of this stamping platform. I got it on Amazon. Normally we are memory keeper stuff's really pretty good, but when you're trying to use the stamping itself, it's just, it doesn't have anything particular that will keep it down. There's no magnets to it or anything like that, and it didn't come with any. I'm just positioning my stamps on there now. There's a little mark on there, so you'll see that it's not as high as you probably would think I would put the cactus, but that's because the little flower bit will need to go on the top, but I can't stamp them both at the same time, otherwise one ends up too high above the other. So a nice little punny sentiment going on there as well. Hope your birthday is on point. Oh, I do love the puns that Lawn Fawn come up with. I keep showing my other half all the stamp sets that I really like because they are so puntastic and he loves a good pun. And I think it's stopping him being quite so, we won't go with concerned, quite so, well, I just think he's not really noticed that I've been buying all of them. Every time I say, oh, look how fun this pun is, he just laughs at it, I think, and then he suddenly realises, oh, look, she's made a card with that pun. I didn't think she had that stamp set. Never mind. So as you can see, I'm having to use some low tack tape to stick this down, but it doesn't really stay down that well. So I've just got my extreme black ink out. I think this is the only image I had to double stamp, if I'm honest. The rest of them, one coat seemed to be enough to get the image done. I am only going to stamp one or two with you guys watching. I'll do the other couple. I paused it to do it just because it does get a bit tedious watching someone ink and stamp repetitively the same images. But yeah, if anyone's got any recommendations for stamping platforms, I'd really like to hear. If you just comment below for us. I really do think I'm going to have to get a new one, because this is just, it's not doing the trick. It feels like it makes it much more hard work than it actually needs to be. And it makes things take way longer than they actually probably need to take as well, if it was a slightly better stamping platform. I'm sorry, we are memory keepers. Your other stuff's awesome, but this stamping platform, not your best work. Sorry. So that is the second one, and in a moment I think we will disappear, and my desk will also get magically much clearer. So there we go. Ta-da! So you'll see that I have also off screen just stamped the little flower on the top of the cactus's heads. So I'm just going to move those out of the way for now and just bring one of them in to show you the colouring of these. Again, I'm only going to do one colouring on screen. This is the Alpine Green blend as well. So I'm just going to do the colouring for one of them on screen and then pause it while I do the rest. Again, there's only so much colouring I think you can watch me do, especially when it's the same image over and over again, as I say. So this is possibly my favourite green out of the tri-blends, which I do still absolutely love. They are amazing pens for those of us that are not massively skilled at working out colour palettes and things. So I'm just putting the darkest green where the arms of the cactus, branches probably, but I'm going to go with arms because it does look like he's waving hello, where they meet the body of the cactus, and then just around the outside, because obviously he is cylindrical, so the shadows would be on the outsides, and then progressing to the mid shade and then onto the light shade, just overlapping each set of colours slightly. With the tri-blends, I found the best is usually to do kind of a little circle motion. Tends to give the best kind of blend with them. The light in this is quite a bit lighter than the dark, so there is quite a nice contrast between the three shades, but I do feel like they do blend nicely together, which is good. You'll just see me randomly topping them up. I then went on with the bright pink shades for the little flower on the top. This is a very quick thing to colour. There's just no way that you can actually see me colour that because it's so small. I really like the bright pink shades. Blend. No shades. Here's the shades. It kind of has like a purpley tone to it as well, so it's not too pinky, so it's not too girly. So I could theoretically, the one that's got the green background, get away with giving it to a gent if I wanted to as well. So the pot, I tend to just colour down all the sides because again it's cylindrical, at the very bottom, and then under where the rim would be, and then blend inwards for the circly bits, and then just a tiny bit underneath and where the other colour is, just so I'm not going straight from darkest to lightest. Again, I love this red blend. It's my go-to red blend for colouring, and that is how easy it is to colour the cactus. So give me a sec and I'll do the other three. Ta-da! I always like to say ta-da. So again, just a quick step that I've done while off screen was to fold the cards and burnish the score lines. So just fold down the score line and burnish with my lovely purple bone folder. And then it's just a case of assembling the cards. So I have already got 2 acrylic blocks and my biggest embossing powder just to use as a weight once I put the top page on top of them, just to give them that little bit of an extra press, just to keep the image in position until the glue gets a little bit more set. And again, it's just my Pinflair book binding glue. I really feel like I need diction lessons today. This is just not going. My diction is not great, but I am definitely not re-recording the entire thing just for one word. Sorry. So again, just lots of glue all over it. I haven't gone over where the little stitch details are because the last thing I want is the glue to pop up through the middle. So then it's just a case of centering the image and trying to get it as straight as I can. Give it a good push down and load it up with all the other bits. And then I'm just going to push that to the side. As I say, I can go sideways on my desk, but not behind it. And then it's just a really quick little procession line. So this shouldn't take me too long to do these bits. It was probably the fastest bit of all of this. I am part of a card swap, so someone on the card swap may end up with one of these, I think. Just keep variety going. So yeah, but I really do like the way the cactus looks against that orange background now actually, when I'm looking at it again. I'm glad I picked the orange. And the green it's similar enough, but it's not exactly the same, so it doesn't clash, I don't think, with the green of the cactus, which is always good as well. Yeah, I'm still unsure as to how I still have this much glue. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I layer that stuff on. I'm very, very generous with my glue because the last thing I want is anything to come off in the post. So, Pinflair book binding glue. Definitely one to get if you want something that will last for practically forever. And then this is just the last one going in there now. Ooh. See, it didn't actually take me that long, which I'm quite impressed with. So, you know, maybe an hour or so to do the whole thing, including the bits that you guys didn't see. And me faffing around and making a cup of tea halfway through because, you know, you need a cup of tea sometimes when you're crafting. So that's just getting those all weighed down while I just put my lid back on my glue because I don't want that to dry out, because then it definitely won't last as long. So yeah, that was all of them done. I'll just give you a quick look at them again. But thank you very much for watching, as always. If you do like what I do, please hit subscribe, and there's also a little bell if you want notifications as to when I post. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.